Hi everyone,
and welcome to the Twinset and Purl Knitting Podcast. This is episode 8.
and today is Friday. Keep getting confused because Joe's been here all day. Friday, May 20th, 2022.
And I'm Jo.
And I'm Rachel. To anyone who's new around here, welcome to our podcast. We just talk about knitting and what we're knitting and what we're designing. And we might as well get on with it.
Yeah, we've got quite a lot to talk about today.
So we won't.
Yeah, we're back from our holiday in Tenerife. Things are a bit quieter here. It's a bit windy on the last episode, and it's also it is sunny, but not as sunny as it was there. But it's definitely quieter, and we are not going to have to catch the camera from falling over in the wind. So.
Or wait for
aeroplanes to go over. So, but yeah, we had a fabulous week, and we've been back a couple of weeks. Is it a couple of weeks we've been back? Yeah. So we're back together again at Rachel's house in Oxfordshire, and we're podcasting. It's later in the day. I'm hoping the light's going to be good.
You can see my new herb plants that I bought in the background. Hopefully I can keep them alive.
Yeah.
Right, so should we get on with the knitting?
Yes,
what
because
are you
we've
wearing?
got a lot to talk about.
Are we talking about that first?
Yeah, we can. I'm wearing the ginger ale cowl.
By you.
By me.
And I'm wearing the Tulsano cowl, also by you.
So both of these cowls are in testing at the moment. It's almost finished.
You have a close up.
Yeah, so and so hopefully they'll be released towards the end of May.
That's next week.
I know.
Are you releasing them both at the same time?
Yes, I am. I might do a little buy one get one free offer. There's a bank holiday in the UK in a couple of weeks for the Queen's Jubilee, and nice to have a little.
Maybe do them then.
Yeah, have a little offer that weekend. That's the
first weekend of June.
2nd and 3rd of June is the bank holiday. Thursday and Friday, so we're all a bit crazy because we're having a Thursday off as well. But anyway, the ginger ale cowl is a sort of a heavy lace weight, so it's quite it's warm because this is, I can't remember the combination of the yarn, but anyway, it's quite warm. It's got some alpaca in it. It's quite a warm cowl, but it's still light, which I really like. And it's a simple eyelet pattern, but quite effective. And some of the testers have done some beautiful ones. One lady's used wool and silk blend, and it's so.
Are you going to show some of them in the stories on Instagram?
Yeah, hopefully. I'll have to ask if it's okay, but yeah. And then the Tulsano is a knit purl pattern, and this is in a bamboo cotton by King Cole, which
it's DK, isn't it?
Yeah, and it. It's nice for the summer.
Yeah.
It's a lighter fabric for the summer.
And you can see mine that I've just cast on.
In a minute when we get to whips.
So that's exciting.
So we're talking about FOs, are we? That's the other stuff.
Oh, okay.
FOs, and I haven't got any, so do you?
Okay, so I'm not going to put it on or maybe I should put it on. So if you watched the last episode, you will have seen my Crest bandana cowl, which I knitted in a Shopple wool Sauber Purlin gradient set, and I had one pattern repeat to go and the border in Tenerife, and I finished it actually before we left Tenerife. And it's lovely because it's like wearing a shawl, this one. Well, they all are really, but because we've got the crest of a wave shawl, this does feel more like a shawl, and it's beautiful. If I say so myself, Joe, I knitted it and Joe designed it. Yeah, so it's 4-ply, and it uses a full skein, so 100 grams for about probably 425 metre, that like normal sock yarn. Yeah, and I love it. And just have to wait for the winter to be able to wear it.
Slightly
Yeah,
cooler weather.
it is. I mean, it's lovely. It would be on a cooler, like a summer
I also
evening.
think
It was, it does. It goes down over your shoulders, so it's almost like a capelet, whatever you call them, caplet.
Yeah.
And yeah, I might just leave this one on actually with my grey jumper.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ida's house, where I got the yarn, we've linked it in the show notes previously, so we'll link it again. And they have lots of different colourways now. So there's some really nice, like spring and summery colours. So I highly recommend a purchase. Love it. And yeah, it ended up being quite a quick knit. I obviously have a lot of things things that come first in my knitting choices. So to cast on something for me is quite rare these days, actually. So I love it. I'm going to knit another one, definitely. I might even knit another one in the yarn, the weight of yarn that we use for the shawl.
Yeah. I've got a really nice pink you can have a ball.
That would be lovely for.
Probably wouldn't take more than.
That would be lovely for Christmas.
So I need to knit another one as well because I gave away the original one as a gift. So I don't have one.
Right. So sorry to shiver you on, but we've got lots to talk about. My next FO, I'm going to have to show you.
I can show them my whip, which is what? The same thing.
Yeah, you could. Well, I was gonna. It's okay. I can show this embarrassing picture of me in my pajamas.
Okay,
it's not too bad, is it?
No.
So just a quick. So I finished my Amethyst Glow. I'll hold my horrible head up there out the way, and you can see my beautiful navy blue Amethyst Glow, which has now been sent to Sophie in York for next weekend's Yorkshire Yarn Fest. I'm still hoping to go, but it's not 100% that I will go. So we sent the samples off this week so that she has them, and also she can photograph them and stuff for the
patterns
and for promoting them. And so Jo, you may as well talk about yours now. Jo's on the last sleeve.
So I'm a bad test knitter because the test knit finished last weekend. And last weekend I had no sleeves. And before this weekend, I'm going to have 2 sleeves.
We won't drag the needle on the table.
So I have knit
a whole sleeve
this week, 2 sleeves.
Fantastic. And I'm telling you, you could knit a pair of socks in a week. If you can do that.
Yeah, I've got 2 because I've got to knit another sock before next weekend.
That's 1 sock in a week, not a pair.
Yeah. But I've got other things I want to do too.
I'm sure.
So I've got 25 rows to go on this sleeve.
And I think it was episode 5 or 6 where we tell you all about the different colours.
What the different colours are.
So we could.
I have that much yarn left of the set of the 3rd skein as well, so that's going to be.
So we can copy that and put it. We can copy that and put it in the show notes.
And I've started doing what quite a few people recommend when I'm doing my decreases on my sleeve, is I put these markers all on the other sleeve, and then as I'm doing the second sleeve, I transfer them over so I know how much I've got left, and
you
feel
quite
satisfying.
Yeah, you feel like you're near the end, don't you?
Yeah,
I did that on mine.
But I have to say, steak rib is a bit.
But it's so worth it.
It is worth it, and it's going to be so difficult to stop knitting 2x2 rib on everything.
And also,
I've been doing it for so long.
I mean, I obviously love the design because I designed it. But if nearly all of my testers have said the sleeves make all the difference.
Yeah.
So they all love them. So I will be sharing some of the finished objects from the testers during the week. And then Sophie will have all the samples. That one is going as well. At YYF on Saturday.
Do you want to share what bag it's in?
And she'll have kits. What bag is it? Oh yeah.
So it's in.
I won't share mine as well, or shall I?
Okay. Well, we've both got this bag, which we bought from.
Mine's underneath a lot too.
Yeah. We bought from the Fat Squirrel.
And they arrived.
We have wanted a Fat Squirrel bag for so long. And then when she put this one up for pre-order, I was like, I have to have it, it's beautiful. I love these colours.
Yeah. So I ordered them for us, and they arrived when we got back from
Tenerife, and the jumper went straight in.
And Amy Beth, you're never going to watch this, but they are beautiful, and they're so well made.
Yeah. And you get
And
these really nice straps, like handle straps.
And a little lavender bag, which is lovely.
Yeah.
So
And it's really, really heavy
Maybe
duty
we'll,
fabric.
maybe we'll tag.
I think
Amy
it's the heaviest duty bag I've got.
Yeah,
And it's really,
It's
apart from
almost
like
like
these
a-
waxed cotton ones.
it's almost like a tote bag, isn't
yeah,
it? Like a,
it's really nice.
yeah.
I really like it.
I would like one of her sock ones, but she doesn't make those very often. To keep my eye out.
Keep put a plea in.
Yeah. So my next finished object, I don't even know if I've got a picture of because they've also gone to Sophie. Oh yeah, I have. So I had to do it. I couldn't not have an Amethyst Glow sock because I love the colourwork so much. So these are my colours that are in mine, that are left over from knitting the sweater. So this sock pattern will also go live at YYF, and I think they're lovely.
Yeah,
I
they're
think that's
beautiful.
a
They
quick-
got so many likes on Instagram.
And yeah, so that especially people are liking the picot cuff. So we have another picot cuff to show you in a minute. But yeah, so really happy with those. And Sophie, if you watch this, I don't know if you do, but I want them back.
Cool.
Cool, so that's my socks. Oh, that's the sound button.
And so next we're moving on to whips. So I've already covered one of my whips
Okay, so let's
with the
go.
Amethyst Glow.
Have you got?
I've got 4 whips,
Okay,
and you've got 4 whips.
right.
So do you want to go? Should we go take it in turns?
Let me show my Tolsano,
Okay.
and then I've got no sock whips. You haven't put my.
stripy sock.
Oh right. Well, then we can do sock. You got a cowl as well.
I've got a cowl.
Okay. We don't know what we're doing, do we? And we're not working it out on the thing. Anyway, mine is living in my beautiful Oh Wow Amsterdam bag from La Bien-Aimée, which Joe bought me a couple of, not last Christmas, the Christmas before. And I am knitting my Tolsana, and I've left my yarn wrapper in here. So I've cast on this grey. I think I'm on the second repeat after the main chart, and you can kind of see it. You can see it close up, and it is just the lovely textured triangles. And it's this kind of tweedy grey DK.
So you can see the difference in the.
Yeah, yours has been blocked, hasn't it?
Mine's been blocked. Yeah.
Yeah. So my yarn is Stylecraft Recreate, which is 100% recycled yarn, and it's 40% wool, 30% acrylic, 30% polyester that's been recycled, and each 100 grams has 350 meters, so it goes a long way. And it says reuse, recycle, recreate. There's a blend of yarn, also from garments that have been recycled, and polyester that comes from plastic bottles, manufactured in Turkey. So,
And it's really soft.
yeah, it's lovely. And I actually would knit a sweater in this, I think. And I know it's because you can just bung it in the washing machine and not really worry about it.
It's a little bit crispy.
And it was, well, it would make a nice blanket. And I got it from the Wool Hound in the Covered Market in Oxford, and it's a new-ish shop that was open during COVID times. And I got the opportunity to go there on Friday when I had an afternoon before I was going to a retirement do at the university. So it was £3 on sale, so it's also a bargain. And I'm enjoying my Tolsano. When does the test knit end?
The 30th.
Oh, I might get it done in time because I'm a good test knit. Right, so that's me doing one.
So that's your cowl. This is
Yeah.
my cowl. So I showed this on the podcast last time, and it was my airport knitting, and I haven't done much more because I've been knitting. Well, there's other things I've been knitting. You'll see in a minute. So I've done a little bit. I think I'm about 10 rows off from starting the border. So, but yeah, it's in this gorgeous yarn, the
Tweed Imps, isn't it?
Five Spades Gleam in the colourway Tweeded Imps.
Might you hold it
And it's, it just reminds me of pheasants. That kind of, you know, the muted colours, but with little pops of colour. And I really love it. And that's a gift as well, which I hope to finish next week before I go up to Scotland at the end of the week.
It's nice to have a deadline, I think.
Yes.
Especially
And
for
it's-
somebody like you.
Yeah. In my Botanical Yarn and Twinset and Purl sock club bag.
Ooh. Exciting. Right. So, me.
Stripy sock?
Yeah.
Did you bring it?
I did.
What bag is it in?
It's in my little little bag.
I don't know if you did.
I thought I grabbed it with this. Okay.
Shall I do my sock while you go
Yes.
get it?
Good plan.
So, all of my whips were in my Hovey & Co pamper bucket. And the last one is my goat's eye sock for my friend. And I've worked a little bit on this week, despite knitting sleeves mainly, because I had to go into the office. We have to go in one day a week. And I go in on a Wednesday when the rest of my team are in. And the sweater was too big to take in to work with my laptop and everything else that I had.
It'll
with me.
fall on the floor.
So I took my sock and I knit 2.5 patterns on the foot while I was at work. So I'm just loving it.
Yeah.
I was actually caught knitting in a meeting and they were like, "Are you knitting?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm knitting a sock." And they're like, "Wow." So I think I've got so the rest of this repeat, one more repeat and then the toe. Cool. And then
Very
we start
good.
the second one. So
Yay.
yay.
So it had dropped on the floor and I found another acquisition.
Oh right. So yeah, so it's the
Oh, sorry.
that
Thought
shop.
we finished.
Yeah, I don't know if we need to say the yarn again. It was mentioned in the last one.
Honestly, this is the thing that made me laugh so
Yeah.
much. Camel.
The Admiral Melange sock yarn by Shoppel in the colourway Fibre Camel. Yes.
That made me laugh so much.
And if you want to giggle, watch the last episode and to see us trying to work out what that was called.
We look like a pair of loons. Right, so I actually have a hoe and a whip. So I have finished my first self-striping sock for May. Yay! And it's this gorgeous yarn from Fab Funky Fibres called Dolly and Donkey's Day at the Beach, and it is beauteous. I love it. And the cuff and heel are done in a mini I got from Sophie at Botanical Yarn. So I finished one and I have started the second one just for a bit of whenever I need vanilla knitting. And it's cute. So I will hopefully, I'm really hoping, I'm going to take it tomorrow in the car. And
We haven't talked about it yet.
No.
What we're doing tomorrow. I'll tell you later.
hopefully I will not be kitchenering the toe on the 1st of June, hoping I will be have
Yes.
kitchened the toe by then. Cool. And that is living in my So Yarnalicious little mini bag that you can walk and knit in, and I love it. It is definitely autumnal, fall. But yeah.
Cool.
So you've got.
Are you going to talk about your? You've got 2 and I've got 1 now.
Should I talk about my shawls?
Yeah.
And then you can talk about your. So mine is very. There's not too much to talk about. So the first one that's living in my Yarnicorn bag from Stitches Tees is something that I've been wanting to try and do, and I've had this yarn and it was something else, and now it's going to become a shawl, which is normally a 4-ply shawl, or fingering weight, which is the Ziggy by Joji Locatelli. And I don't know if we could just quickly look up a picture of that.
Can you describe it?
So I've got one that I knitted in. Let's see it just here. Pixie Yarns. So this is the shawl. So it's lace and garter.
Is it feather and fan?
No, it's actual lace.
Oh, right.
Well, not that feather and fan isn't a lace. But anyway, so I've literally cast on and started the first lace section, but I did want to talk about it because I do want to make some progress and show you on here. So this is just the very beginning, but I was thinking that by the time I finish it, it probably will be autumn. And this yarn is, I just love the colours of it. There's greys, and it did start off as a Joji Cowl, which unfortunately I did not enjoy knitting at all, and there was a mistake in the chart, but we won't dwell on that. Anyway, this is Katia yarn in the concept range called Mohair Grade, and it is obviously it fades into.
Is it a 4-ply?
It's
mohair?
Normal
mohair.
No, it's normal mohair. It's got 400 meters per 50 grams, so it's normal mohair,
Right.
lace weight mohair. And I'm knitting it on 3.5. The pattern is written for 4 millimeters with fingering, and I'm knitting it on 3.5. But the shawl is a big shawl, so I'm hoping that it'll be a nice size, and I will try and put a few rows in before the next podcast. And I don't know if any of you do this, but I have upstairs knitting and downstairs knitting. And this is upstairs knitting at the moment, which I will endeavour to. Last few days I've just gone to sleep, but I do like to do a few days of knitting, as you know, in bed. So, and my second.
It's weird, isn't it? I do not knit in bed.
Really? My second shawl.
Sometimes on a Tuesday morning, when my husband goes to London,
You wake up really
I wake
early.
up really early when he gets up, and then I put Dinah and Pam from the Knitting Place podcast on, which has usually been uploaded about 4 hours before then, and I sit and watch them and knit, and that's the only time I knit in bed.
So I've picked up probably one of my longest standing whips, and it's in my Botanical Yarn balls bag with rose gold. It's beautiful. And this is Botanical Yarn. I was I saw Nicola knitting Sophie's sample of this at Sweater Weather at Farnham Maltings, and it's the Brio Shoreline shawl by Stephen West, and I haven't done very much of it, as you can see. I picked it up this week and I've done 6 rows, but it is a slow grower because, well, actually, to be fair, each row is front and back for Brio.
So you've done
So
12
I've done 12,
rows.
well, 12 rows, but
Yeah.
He only counts them back and forth. But this is, I haven't printed the whole
How
pattern.
big is it?
It's
not
big.
it's not one of his big shawls though, is it?
I can probably look up. I don't know. People don't really like people doing that. Anyway, so it kind of grows. There's a band that stays the same, and there's these edges, and this bit gets bigger and bigger.
Oh right, so you don't get more of these.
You do.
They don't come down here, but you only get one row of them.
It's only that size.
Yeah.
Yeah, each time. And the yarn is beautiful. I'm not sure I think this is one of her core colours, teal. It's lovely and tonal. And I would never have picked this colour to go with it. But this is beautiful Surrey alpaca.
That is lovely.
I think that's another one of it. Well, she does a lot of pinks, doesn't she? So,
yeah.
But that is so beautiful. And I'm almost hoping. Well, I've got 3 skeins of the Surrey and 2 of the.
How does it end? Could you just end it at any point?
I don't know.
If you ran out?
I'm not going to run out, I don't think. I'm hoping there's some left so I can
Right.
hit something else with it.
Okay.
But yeah, so this is me showing you where I've got to, and I'm hoping there's at least 2 more of these scallopsy bits by the time I come and podcast again, which we don't know exactly when that'll be, but hopefully the next few weeks. But I am going to be doing some work on that because I do want it for the next knitwear season.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that's all my whips. You've got one
I've
more.
got one more.
And this, Jo should make a confession about this because it was a sneaky cast on.
It was.
That you.
I didn't want to finish my test knit. I hold my hand up. I did not want to knit those sleeves.
You quite enjoyed it, haven't you? Then?
I have. I enjoyed the second one more than the first one, shall we say.
So all last weekend, she was showing me this, and I kept saying, "But you're supposed to be knitting the sleeves of your sweater." Well, she's probably never going to test knit for me again.
I didn't have I didn't have that sweater mojo. I had this sweater mojo.
And I've just seen your yarn, and I'm jealous.
So the yarn is from Woolly Knit, and it is their cotton yarn. At the time I bought it, it was 2 combs for £20.
Wow.
And I'm going to have enough to knit 2 sweaters.
Brilliant.
Short sleeve, but 2 sweaters.
Yeah.
Probably good at 2 long sleeve sweaters actually.
Yeah.
There's 400 grams on each comb.
You've got quite a lot.
And I decided I wanted to knit a raglan t-shirt. And I looked around for a pattern and I found the Material Girl by, can't remember who it's by. You got your pattern in there? No, it's on my phone.
It was designed for Chelsea Yarns.
Yeah. And it's quite it's a very sort of straightforward classic raglan, and I've added something to it because you know
Jo can't.
I can't leave stuff.
You can't not tweak a pattern.
So I really like. So on the last episode, I showed a cowl that I've designed, and it's got this pattern in the cowl, and I thought, wouldn't that look pretty on the yoke of a sweater?
That's beautiful.
So I've added 4 rows of it, and it's basically a row of knit 2 together, and then on the next row you purl because you're in the round, and you pick a stitch up
from the loop,
the gap between the 2 knit 2 togethers, and you get like this. It's almost like a little sort of popcorn lace look.
It's beautiful.
So
I really like the black with the cream.
Yeah, so I've just separated for the sleeves.
That was the deal we came to.
Yeah. So I've got...
So mean to you.
11 inches of body to do, and then the sleeves are basically knit a couple of rows, put some rib on and cast off.
Beautiful.
So that's... I would think there's probably 3 days work in that, and I want it to wear to flock on the 11th of June. So yeah, so that's my
your last whip.
that's my last whip, and this yarn is beautiful. It is so. I'm knitting at 3.5 gauge.
Are we talking about new designs?
No, it's not a new design, is it? Because all
No,
I've done is.
No, I haven't talked about my.
Can I finish
Yeah,
this?
yeah, yeah.
first?
Sorry. I had a thought.
Yeah, so the yarn is so soft, and I think it's just going to be a really lovely. It's quite light and quite airy.
Did they have a range of colours?
They do have a range of colours. And the next one I'm going to knit is possibly the same shape, but just beige with black stripe, thicker black stripes.
Right.
Maybe all the way. So depending on how much black I've got left. Yeah.
And how many ends you want to sew it?
Yes. But yeah, it's lovely
Lovely.
yarn. I also bought a cone of their linen for a shawl.
Ooh,
That may appear at some point on the podcast.
well done. So I've got a couple of patterns that are coming out or came out
we
today.
kind of talked about, because these are coming, this is coming out, I've got this coming out. So yeah, we can talk about.
You talk about that as well?
I've shown it before, I was just going to do a little quick.
Okay. So I have 2 sock designs. So everybody, hopefully, who subscribes has got their pattern by now to the sock club, or either that or they don't watch this. So these are the May socks. Oops. On one of Joe's acquisitions. That's annoying me.
Am I a real sock knitter now? I've got a sock block.
No, because you need to. Yeah, so these are the Piketty Shorty Socks. Piketty Pink Shorty Socks for the Botanical Yarn
Shall I hold that
Sock
out?
Club. Yeah, and they're really cute. They've got these Pico edge. Piketty Pink is a variety of, can I remember the flower? Ranunculus, was it? She dyed that for me.
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
No. Anyway, it's in the pattern. And
People can't get it anyway unless
so
they
for
buy
May,
the stock.
yeah, so
So,
the patterns are going to be available.
but not for 6
No,
months.
not for 6 months. They're exclusive to the club for 6 months. So that's May. So the next, obviously, is June, and then we're halfway through. I can't quite believe it. But yeah, this is a cute. I'm gonna knit some more of these because they're cute. And then today, finally, Colin has made an entrance into the Bridgerton Season 2 sock collection. And this is going to fit on thing because these were knitted by Maggie for her husband, Trevor.
I thought you were going to say Colin.
No, he's not called Colin. My friend Alex has a husband called Colin. I told her she had to knit a pair for him, but she said no. So,
Oh, get rid of it.
can we take it off?
Yes.
It says Woolly Hugs on it. Right. So these are my favourite of the 6 Bridgerton patterns. And I just
They're
love...
everybody's favourite.
Yeah, the testers, we had lots of love for Colin. So it's like it's just I can't quite see the swirl.
It's almost like a twisted stitch, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not a twisted stitch though.
Or like you just move, it's like a mock cable almost,
Yeah,
isn't it?
you just-
You kind of move the stitches.
Yeah, and it's with this rib with garter, like the pearl bumps are garter. So yeah, so I don't know how, but it's.
And the
have a
yarn's
look at our
beautiful as
Instagram.
well.
The yarn is the Twitcher colourway by Bird Street Yarn, and it is gorgeous. I don't know, look at this speckle. They are speckle champions. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So that came out today, and there's a discount code. We're hopefully going to get this up tomorrow because it's now a bit later in the day, and tomorrow we're going to go to...
The discount code's there now. You mean
Yeah,
the video up tomorrow?
Yes, just in case you watch this and there's not much time left for the discount code. and the discount code is Colin, so that's a tricky one. And you get 25% off until midnight on Sunday to do acquisition to talk about.
Cool.
Yeah, so we love Colin, and that's it.
And then there's one more to come in the series, which will be coming in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, and then that's it.
Penelope.
Although my testers want me to design an Edwina sock. So, because we're not doing
There may be a bonus. There was a bonus last time.
There was a bonus last time. It was a little bit later, but they want me to design it in time for them to knit it when this test knit finishes in 2 weeks. So the challenge is on, and we received some yarn today, which I may use for Edwina. So we should show that in a minute. Right. So that's all the.
So I've got.
Oh no, you've got.
I've got another. Well,
is that coming out?
This is coming out. So the testers have finished testing the allium shawl.
Oh wow, it looks glowy. It's beautiful.
Which is an asymmetric triangle shawl in a lace weight with an eyelet and slip stitch pattern across the whole body, and then it finishes with this.
Good light to show it.
Yeah, it finishes with this. It's kind of a modified peacock lace pattern, and
which is why it's called the allium, isn't it?
It looks like allium the heads of the allium flower, and then it ends with picot.
All about the picots. That's what we're going to have to say, aren't we?
Yeah,
that'll be the title of the episode.
And it's I think I designed this like a year ago, and then it's got some Purl 5s togethers, and I wasn't confident that people would want to knit it. But I submitted it to a magazine for one of their editions, the Making magazine, and it got into their shortlist, but it didn't make it into the magazine. But they said, "We really hope you self-publish." So I thought, why not put a call out to testers? And the testers have just finished. So there are no changes to the pattern.
And it's in Labian May.
Yeah, Helix,
which is beautiful.
And this is the colourway Flora Morgan.
I might have to borrow this. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ever going to knit one.
No.
I don't think I'd get to. It would take me a long time to get through all the eyelets, but it's beautiful.
Yeah. So this is coming out next weekend, possibly.
Yeah. We've got the 3 patterns coming out next weekend.
No, this can come out next weekend, and then these 2 can come out on the Jubilee.
Yeah, but my sweater and socks coming out, but not till Saturday. So if you can do that on Friday.
Okay, fine. Decision made.
This is like a little mini meeting as well. Who's taking minutes?
Right. So that's all the whips. So we've got acquisitions, which kind of lead into a few discussions about dream knitting and all that.
Me and Joe. Are we going to talk about us a bit?
We can.
Okay. Right. So you go first because you.
So
I think you planned to buy some stuff.
Yeah. So I bought this sock blocker. I can't say that I'm that happy with it, but it is what it is, and it's going to work. So I'm going to be blocking 1 sock at a time.
And you thought you were getting 2?
I thought I was getting 2, but I only got 1.
It's a pony.
It's a pony one, and it's all right, but I think I prefer the other ones with the hook on that you can hang up.
Yeah, I have to say though that I think it's possibly truer to size than some of the ones that they seem to have more sizes. Yeah.
And I also bought a sock ruler because I'm knitting a pair of socks that aren't for me, and I've been told the size that the person needs, and I thought that would be really useful. So I bought that.
Apologies if the light is going a bit. It looks bright enough for us on the screen, so hopefully you can see everything.
And then I bought lots of yarn.
We also bought another project bag, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Well, it's not actually a project bag, but we're going to be using them as project bags. And they come in these lovely
dust cover.
which I use to take things away in.
Yeah, so they're from Elizabeth. You've probably heard of the brand Elizabeth Scarlett. So we have the same one but in different colours.
And they're lovely, just the right size for.
And it's just beautiful.
Cowl.
It's machine embroidered, but it's
just the right
cherry
size
blossom.
for a cowl. Right, you talk about something I got for Lou.
Okay.
Sorry. I thought I could make it, but middle-aged lady can't.
Have you got Trillium? Okay. I know what I'm going to talk about. My hoe. I treated myself. Sorry for bending over. To a new Hohi bag, and it arrived really quickly. Even though the email said it was coming a week later than it actually arrived, and it's in the walnut suede. And I've put my Stitch Birdie pin on the handle, so it's got these leather handles, and I'm actually using it as a handbag, so it's not really a project bag at the moment as such, and I think it's called I'm not 100% sure what. I'll put it in the show notes which one it is. It's one of their new ones and I love it. So when I bought the yarn, I went to the Wool Hound and bought the yarn for, it was quite a nice, it's a lovely little shop, and she's got a whole selection of stuff. And when I walked in, the first thing I saw was this ball of Regia merino yak, which is one of my favourite sock yarn, commercial sock yarns to knit with. And this is one of their new colours that have just come out, and I absolutely adore it, and I just held it the whole time I was shopping in there. I also got to buy some yarn as a gift, a retirement gift for our friend Marion, and so it was lovely to buy yarn. I haven't bought that much yarn this year, and yeah, so these are probably going to be a pair of Colin socks. And I also bought Joe a little present, which is...
We were actually FaceTiming.
Yeah, you FaceTimed me just as I was there, so I showed her around the shop.
She picked that up and I was like, oh my God, I love it.
So it's actually sport weight, I think.
It's by a brand called Cowgirl Blues.
From South Africa.
Yeah. And this colourway is Happy Days.
And
it is, it's just...
Hold it a bit because of that,
really
it is
happy.
navy blue, it looks black on the screen. But
it's really, really happy colour, and I think that will be another cowl design at some point.
I told her to stop, but I'm knitting them all, so I must love them. Right, so that I talked about the Wool Hound, and I bought my friend one. I can't remember who the brand was, but it was Resting Stitch Face pin. I thought it was quite good for a retiree.
Yeah. So I've got some more yarn.
And I've got some more yarn as well. And some bits from...
Yeah.
So let's talk about bird... I'll just quickly talk about bird street.
Okay.
I haven't talked about Trillium.
No, but I was just going to show it in the context of that.
So I decided that it's going to take me a long time to finish it because it is a 2 skein shawl. So I bought this new colourway from John and Claire, which is called Snowfall, and it's just my jam. And I'm going to be knitting Jo's new design, which is going into testing next week, which is a Trillium shawl, which she designed in collaboration with the Wool Kitchen, and it's holding mohair. I won't need both of those, will I actually? Mohair to knit these triangle, kind of colourwork triangles. So it's held double. So this is going to be my navy blue mohair to go with my Snowfall, and I think it's going to be gorgeous. So hopefully, I am going to try this test knit starts on Monday, and I'm going to try and cast on Monday, so that will you add me to the
yeah. When you get sent this pattern anyway. So.
Yeah, but add me to the chat.
Oh yes.
And
the chat comes from Twinset Purl.
Oh right, it does. So yeah, so I can join in as fast as I can. Seems like I've just got lots to do. So then that arrived this morning, and another big bag of yarn arrived from BotanicalYarn. So we both got this colourway, which is Cherry Blossom, from one of her previous updates, and it's this beautiful pink with some speckles, and I think this is going to be Edwina.
And I got 3 skeins to knit a sweater.
I treated her to them.
Kind sister.
Didn't I?
So I'm going to be knitting.
It would be lovely.
I don't know. I was thinking a love note. That's too much for a love
I
note.
think a material girl, long sleeves, be lovely.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So mine's going to be socks, of course. And then I have joined Sophie's book club. So every month, and excuse the rustling because I'm not going to take them out of the little bags. Every month Sophie chooses a book, and from the cover she dyes up a 5 20-gram mini skein set. Yeah. God, I'm on these painkillers and they make you forget the word you want to say, or not know the word you want to say. And so I joined this month, but she also sent me April's as well. And I can't remember the book for April, and I also can't remember the book for May, but
It's written on it.
is it? The Paper Palace by Miranda Cowley Hellier is this one. And that is beautiful, isn't it? And I've got an idea. Also a cowl, or something like that. And this one
beautiful
is
Crest bandana.
Yeah, it would. And there's still time because when does the cowl finish? End of June. We haven't talked about that recently.
We talked about it last time.
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. So we're running a cowl and it ends on the 30th of June. Check the show notes from previous episodes.
There's 3 patterns
We're so
that are
bad.
free.
We're so bad, podcasters. If you see a pattern in our store with anything mentioning Crest, one's free already. You can get the other 2 if you use the code CRESTCAL, and they're free.
All caps.
Yeah. So this is this May's book club. So if you haven't got yours yet, I'm sorry, but you probably have because mine's arrived. The book Form and Emptiness by Ruth Ozeki. And that is gorgeous. And that is a lovely fade, I think.
Yeah,
Actually. So that's going to be something. That should be a Crest bandana. That should be my idea, I think. Cool. And the last thing I got is some of Sophie's new yarn. Well, this isn't a new one. It's a new. It's her core colour collection, and this is a mohair in. I don't know. What the colour is. We can look up on the website and put it in the show notes. And she has sent me, this is one of the grey that's the core colour collection in a new slub base, which is 4-ply, I'm told. And I'm going to be designing a cowl, just to add to the cowls. So we won't show it probably in progress, but these 2 are going to become something beautiful to show off Sophie's new yarn base, the slub, which a few people dye up, a few dyers. It's so soft. I think it's nearly 100% merino. I think it's 90-10, 90% merino. I haven't got band, so I don't know 100%. Gorgeous. And that was all the yarn.
I've got more yarn from Sophie.
Oh right, have you?
Yeah, I got my Kickstarter.
Oh yeah. So we got our Kickstarter stuff. I didn't actually order yarn. I wasn't, but at the time the Kickstarter was on, I wasn't buying yarn. So
I ordered the kit for the Ashmore cowl.
Shall I just see if I can turn Alexa on? Do the kitchen lights. Hang on everyone, just 1 second. Alexa, kitchen on. That's better, isn't it?
Yeah. So the Ashmore cowl was 150 grams of the grey, and then this mini fade.
Oh, it's beautiful. That the teal
Yeah.
are just stunning.
Now I don't 100% know if I'm going to knit the cowl, but I just love that fade.
That was the only way to get it,
And
wasn't it?
yeah, it was exclusive to the Kickstarter. So yeah, and that was the little Kickstarter bag.
Oh, and I got mine as well.
And she's now got the van, and the van's called Pearl. I don't know, has the van been to a show yet?
Yes. The van was driven to Wonderwall.
Not
slept in, but has been slept in. So I've got the drawstring bag as well. You've got,
Yeah, I've got a drawstring bag.
and we've got. And there's also something quite exciting. So she has quite a few stitch markers now from Mountain Handcrafts, and these are the Kickstarter ones. So there's the van, and these are stitch markers. The van with yarn and a little ball of yarn, and then the pins, and the stickers. So these are all the Kickstarter things that you can only get when so you can't get them anymore. But and then we put those on as well. We shared these. So these are progress keepers that Sophie's had made to go with our sock club that we're doing. So there's a little square one, which is that's the kind of sock club emblem, and then a pair of socks. So you get 2 of those and 4 socks if you buy this set from Sophie. I'm doing a really bad job of showing them.
So that's the Progress Keeper set, but you can get them as stitch markers as well.
And they're gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also get you can get Luna, the Dachshund
really
ones,
cute.
which I can't believe she didn't give me any of. But anyway, so is that all the acquisitions?
No, I've got 2 more lots of yarn.
Oh my God, Joanna.
So I'm an Instagram advert,
Marketing lover's dream.
and I was looking at Instagram, and the beautiful knitters have started selling the pure silk by Knitting for Olive.
Now that I'm jealous of.
I've got three balls of this, which is 250 meters per ball, per 50 grams, and this colourway is called Rhubarb Juice. Perfect, isn't it?
Yeah.
And this is going to be another lace weight shawl. I've already got an idea for that. I think it's going to be this sort of shape, like a long diamond with some lace.
Very nice.
And then I also got in terracotta rose the cotton merino.
Let me have a quick feel.
And I've got three balls of that as well.
Oh, that's beautiful. Is that lace weight?
Well, it's 250 meters per 50 grams, so it's a heavy lace.
Yeah.
I would say.
I can tell you it's gorgeous.
So that's going to be.
I can confirm it is beautiful.
Another couple of shawls at some point.
Yeah.
They're obviously sort of summer weight, so whether they'll get done this year, I don't know. And then my last yarn acquisition. Well, when I bought the sock blocker and the sock ruler, I thought, well,
You have to make it up.
Royal Warehouse, you get free postage if you spend £25. So I bought a sweater's quantity of Drops Belle in the colourway Rose Water. And it's this beautiful kind of beigey pink,
Powder pink.
and I'm going to knit a sweater called Freya in that. It was very close between that and Neredes from Pom Pom, but Neredes is the lace is a lot more open, and I thought I'd have to wear something underneath that. Whereas
Who's the Freya by?
I don't know. We'll in the show notes.
We'll put it in the show notes.
But it's a cabled and lace sweater which is kind of it's quite boxy, and then it's got little fluty sleeves.
Oh, sounds delightful.
So yeah, I thought that'd be nice for the summer.
So you'll have
And I
three
really-
summer sweaters you'll have knitted.
And I really like Drop Spell. It's
Oh, I've got something on the end of my nose.
cotton, viscose and linen. And it's a really lovely yarn for summer.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, and I use the code RAV10,
To get 10% off.
which apparently is there all the time, RAV10.
Right.
Cool.
So, what were your other things quickly to talk about? I think that's everything we bought.
Yeah. Right. So the topic that I put down for us to talk about, I was watching the Grocery Girls podcast, and they were talking about how people think they're very similar because they both knit all the time, but actually their approaches to it and their tastes are slightly different, but they also challenge each other. So Jodie likes to put a little splash of neon or something on her knits, and that makes Tracy think, oh, I should try some different colours because my palette is slightly different from Jodie's. So they challenge each other, but they're similar but different, but they do complement each other. And that made me think about...
And also, Tracy always does a swatch.
Yes, she's very organised.
Yeah.
And
She labels
Jodie isn't
her.
so much. Yeah. And that made me think about the differences between me and you, because people often think that twins are exactly the same. I mean, when we were at school, I can remember the teacher saying we had to do a mock interview where you interviewed each other.
Right.
And we ended up together. We were sat together, and she said, on the table you're on, oh, you two can't interview each other because it'd be like interviewing yourself. And I can remember thinking, you obviously don't know us because
we're very different.
we're very similar, but we're very different personalities. So that made me just think about it. And the thing that then brought it home to me was, one, we both run test knits, and you have all yours in a book.
Yeah.
You're all really organised. I have mine on a scrappy piece of paper.
I know exactly who's in what test knit.
Where they are, what they're doing.
What their ideas, everything.
I have a list, but I can't always find it. So that's the difference between the two of us. You are a scientist.
I also
and I'm not a scientist.
I have a book with every single project I do written in it. What the yarn is, what the needles were, what size I cast on, when I started, when I finished. Anything different, any notes, things I changed. And that I have a book going back to 2019 of every project I've ever done. So that's something else that's different about us.
Yeah. I have a book
So
with loads of bits of paper and held in with clips.
In theory, I could go back. And on Ravelry and I don't put my projects on Ravelry. The thought of going back that far to do it really makes me scared. But I've got all that information. How many rounds of each? But then I used to write a lab book, and somebody else had to be able to use your lab book.
So this is what really brought it home. Was the other day, I'm doing my sleeves, and this is what I'm using to count my rows. It's a little piece of paper that's torn off the notebook that sits on my desk at work.
And this is what I use. Joe actually gave me this notebook. It's a little notebook.
I love notebooks though. I've got loads of notebooks, I just don't use them.
And it's just used for crossing off rows. And this is the class. Look at this one. Each of those has been crossed off. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'm a scrappy piece of paper. You're a
This is as
neat
scrappy
notebook.
as this is like my when I worked in the lab, I literally had a rough lab book and a neat lab book, and they looked almost the same. But I went back to my Brio Shoreline and I looked and I had my list of exactly where I was, which row I was on.
I gave you that notebook too.
Yeah, you did. I could start again. So,
I know, but I know how much it annoys you.
is that why you do it?
No, I try not to. I really do try, but
Yeah.
it winds
I'm
me
sure
up.
try. Look, it sits straight. Either that's how to cut now.
So yeah, it's
What was the other thing
twins
there?
are different, same but different. Oh, the other thing I was going to ask is if people would be interested in us doing some kind of videos on how we block shawls, because
Or maybe we could just suggest something.
yeah, because when I which was the shawl, the Harbourside, which is a shallow crescent shawl, when my testers had finished, they weren't sure how to block it, and so I showed them a picture of how I block it and gave them a bit of a description. But I was wondering whether people would be interested in
That's a good idea.
some ideas on how to block
But you could also,
different shapes of shawl.
it might be good to put a picture in of when you're
Yeah.
blocking it, you could put a picture in the pattern
Yeah,
as well, because I'm not quite sure how you'd film, because you don't make your own videos and I'm not doing it. Anyway,
or even if we just had
if loads
a
and
bit
loads,
of a description. On
but
how
if
you do
loads
it.
and loads of you are interested, I'm sure Joe will do it.
Yeah. So the only other thing left to
No,
talk
we've got to talk
about.
about what we're doing tomorrow.
Yeah. We haven't talked. Yeah, that's what I was going to
Oh
say.
right, okay. I thought you were talking
We
about that.
haven't. No, I haven't got that here. What we haven't talked about is what we're doing tomorrow. Yeah. So why? Well, yeah. Anyway, carry on.
You would be here anyway.
I would be here anyway.
We are going to River Knits Open Day in
Northampton.
It's only an hour away from here, for everybody who knows. So we are going in the morning and we're going to have a little look around there. Fruitful Fusion is going, so we will be chatting to her. We love Ishmael. And we're not going to buy too much. We're going to buy a couple of very special things.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, loads of you go and buy Colin overnight. They might go shopping. Yeah, so we're looking forward to that. I can't actually remember any of the other vendors. I think maybe Telling Yarns is there.
The cat woman.
The cat woman. Oh, Oi Baby.
Yeah.
The woman with the stitch markers and the cat designs.
She's there.
Yeah, Fair Are Cat and Cat. Oh, my stomach. Could you? I hope you didn't hear my stomach then. Right, that's enough of this silliness. Come on, it's over an hour. We don't usually talk for this long.
No.
We don't usually bore people for this long. We try not to.
Yeah. So we get another day together
we
tomorrow.
do.
We're really excited about that.
Joe's going to go now and finish her sleeves.
Yeah.
Because she's...
I want to knit something else tomorrow.
Yeah.
Please. And Rachel's going to sew all the ends in for me and block it. That's what you said.
Only if you finish the sleeve to leave it with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course I
did say-
will.
of course I'll do that.
Cool.
Of course I will.
Right. Well, thank you for listening,
Yeah,
everybody.
if you lasted this long, we're really, really grateful.
And if you liked our video, please hit the like button. And
And
if you don't already subscribe,
subscribe.
all these things help us out.
We're
Get
nearly
our-
up to 400 subscribers, and it would be really exciting
Yeah.
if we could, I don't know, just, well, who doesn't want more people to subscribe to their channel,
Yeah.
listen to their silliness about knitting?
Well, even if we only did it so that our dad could listen to it.
Our dad watches multiple times each episode.
And the funny thing is, he then watches other knitting podcasts
That's
that come on
Get
afterwards. on
suggested for
YouTube.
him.
And he was telling me about one he'd watched. She's a spinner as well, and it's really. And I was like, Dad,
He'll know more than us.
yeah,
soon.
maybe he'll actually want to start knitting. That would be fun.
It would. hands are too clumsy, big and clumsy.
Mm.
Yeah, so we'll be back soon, hopefully, with lots of progress on our whips. And until then, happy knitting and take care. And anyone who...
Sorry, I was just thinking when we could next
Well, I'm
podcast,
hoping
but-
that anyone who sees, who watches this, who comes to Flock, we'll see you at Flock. And hopefully we'll podcast from your house that weekend.
Yeah, it'd be good. That's an idea. Cool.
Because you see her thinking then, thinking through how that might work. Okay.
You've got
Cool.
to rearrange something if we're going to do that.
I do.
So,
That's a true. Right. This is too much waffly
yeah.
thing. See you
Right.
soon.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hopefully the rest of it was okay. See you soon.
You've cancelled it.